Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the edition every week which I love making, where I attempt to solve today's Times Cryptic crossword for you live on screen. With my dictionary on hand, but not used other than to sort of look up and share words after I've got them and explain the clues. Now today is a really, really special edition because I know the constructor of today's puzzle. It's John Guiver, who is a very old friend of mine and a complete genius with words. I first came across John Guiver's puzzles under the John constructs under the pseudonym Shackleton for listener-style crosswords. And these puzzles are just mesmerising. His clue writing ability is second to none. It really is. I mean, it's just amazing. I suspect that's what we're going to see in today's puzzle. And also, I remember way back in the day, John would sometimes test my puzzles, which I would then submit to the listener. And I owe him, and I hope I have thanked him, I'm sure I have at some point over the years. I released a puzzle many years ago that appeared in the listener series. It was called 8 by 10 or 10 by 8 or something. And that puzzle was made immeasurably better by John's testing. I remember I combined crosswords with a sort of symmetrical logic problem. And John came up with the most incredible word, diagonal, which means, yeah, there we go, of symmetry about an axis, such that a half turn gives the same figure, and incorporated that into we incorporated that into the grid. And the puzzle actually did remarkably well in the voting for that year's sort of best listener puzzle. I think it came second, and that's entirely due to John. So we're dealing with a total genius. The snitch rating is very high. Let's see if that's supported. That's T in the corner. Look, Mara, this has happened. What was it? There was Hello Simon last week, and now there's two people who've created accounts and filled the puzzle in very quickly to get messages in. Okay. Anyway, they are not real solvers. The first real solver that I think is genuine there is Verlaine, Matthew Marcus. Oh, sorry, we're going to get buzzed by an extremely low-flying maverick today. It's a nice day today, but there's no need for the maverick to just be 20 feet in the air. So 9 minutes is the first real time. Andrew Fisher there at 9 minutes 50. Mystigris is real. Let's have a look a bit further down and see if Jason James, 13 minutes 46. Wow. Dean Short's an excellent solver, 15 minutes. Let's see, can you get into the top 100? Yes, with errors you can. Wow. Okay, so this is definitely going to be difficult. I was expecting that. And I don't have any birthdays to tell you about today, and I've reminisced enough, so why don't we get cracking, and I will try and do my best to explain the puzzle as we go. Let's get cracking. Right, one across. Card cutter to double up. Card cutter to double up. Now, so quick, if you're completely new to cryptic crosswords, all of these clues will contain a straightforward definition of the answer, which is normally at the start or the end of the clue. So this could be a 9-letter word which means card. I don't know any words that mean card cutter, so I doubt it's a 9-letter word that means card cutter. It could mean to double up. I don't know though. Let's try one down. Music. My friend's about to fly past again. Music ringing so long on the phone before one's bath. Music ringing so long on the phone before one's bath. I mean, the way I read that, I want it to mean bath, perhaps. And the reason is, I said that there's always a straightforward definition in every clue. That's true. The rest of the clue is a recipe. that allows you to build up the word that's the answer from its ingredients, which might be short synonyms. So if I try and explain what I mean there, if you could think of a short synonym for music, ringing, so surrounding is how I read that, a short word for music, ringing, so long on the phone. I mean, that could be a way of saying goodbye, or a homophone for something that sounds like goodbye. Before ones, so could this have ones at the bottom of it? Like ones could be like Roman numeral for the number 1, apostrophe S, something like that, and the whole thing means bath. I don't know. No, I don't think I've had many good thoughts there, actually. Let's try 2 down. Cry when putting up with a cold. I don't know. Okay, this is already terrifying. 6 across. Slide down off leaking old boat. I mean, again, it's just beautifully worded, isn't it? Slide down off leaking old boat is how we could say that. I mean, I'm trying to read it to pass it as a cryptic clue, but it actually reads incredibly naturally as a sentence. I don't know what that is either. I don't even have any good ideas for that. No, I really don't. Okay, lady driving cattle truck about to open bonnet. I mean, if I knew any words for ladies who drive cattle, that would feel quite possible there. And again, I could think of a wordplay construction. Short synonyms for truck. Sometimes you see ute, U-T-E. So truck about, could that be a reversal of the word ute, which would be E-T-U? And that would open, so be inside, so something like this, a word for a bonnet. Lady. No. Lady driving cattle. Sort of a cowgirl. Right, as opposed to a cowboy. Cowgirl. I quite like cowgirl. I don't think it's right, but let me just look. Rig. Cowl. That's right. Okay, that is very, very lucky. I mean, my idea for ute was so wrong. Well, no, it wasn't so wrong. I just was using the wrong synonym for truck. A truck is a rig, isn't it? I think that's more of a sort of a US synonym. Let's have a look at rig. An articulated lorry, especially in North America. So we've got rig reversed in cowl for bonnet. A cowl, of course, is a sort of a hood, isn't it? Yeah, a large loose hood, which is similar to a bonnet. So cowgirl is right. Now, the great thing about that answer is that it has given me some interesting checking letters. Let's try 2 down again. Cry when putting up. Yeah, okay. Cry when putting up with a cold. Very nice. Now, I say this every week, but it bears repetition. You can't just abbreviate every word in a cryptic crossword clue to its initial. When we're constructing these ingredients I was talking about earlier, you can't just look at this clue and say pudding. That could be P. No, it can't, because if we look under P in the dictionary, we'll find lots of things. Parking, pasta, pedal, petter, probationary. Oh, probationary driver, actually. But you won't find, if I go along here, putting. Whereas, if we go to W, we will find, I don't know where we'll find it, but it is there, with. We'll find with somewhere there. With. So, this with, and this is something I'm afraid you will just have to learn, especially with the difficult ones, like many abbreviations you'll be familiar with. Look at the word cold in this clue. If you saw C on a tap, you would know it meant cold, wouldn't you? It would just be obvious. H on a tap means hot. So you know a lot of the abbreviations. It's just some of them are a bit weird, and the only way to learn them is really through practice. But with can be W, A is just the letter A, and cold can be C. And if we put up WAC, we create core, and that is the cry of a bird, especially a crow, I think, which we had some cawing in our stream of Monument Valley this week. So core is going to be correct. Let's go back to one down again. Music ringing. So chow? If you say chow, that would be sort of bye. Music before one's bath. I don't know. Have we looked at that one? No. The king departs after broadcast is dubbed knighted. I don't know. If somebody is dubbed, they're knighted. And K can be an abbreviation for king from sort of chess scoring. I mean, king is also, our current king is King Charles, and in Crossword land that is CR for Charles Rex. So be aware that we might be looking at CR for the king. Departs can be D. Let me show you that, because that is a strange one. I think that must be from, like, timetables for when ferries leave or something. I mean, it can be. I know it can be. Departs. There. So the king departs after broadcast. The other thought about this clue is this broadcast word. If you broadcast something, you announce it. And cryptic crossword writers love to play on the differences between words you hear and how they're spelt. So if we go back to this one, where I thought so long might be chow, which is CIAO, is how you spell it. But chow, if we saw the word CHOW, that we'd pronounce that chow, wouldn't we? So this so long on the phone could be CHOW, because it sounds the same as chow, as in goodbye. So I mean, this is a complicating thing that means that we have to be aware of everything. I mean, let's just put in knighted and just see if we can think of why. You see, also, if John is seriously gifted, right? And I don't... I'm just wondering what the is doing in the clue. King departs after broadcast. If John, I don't think, would clue K with the king, because king does just as well and is more precise. The is superfluous. I am just now noting, though, that the does appear. Oh, no. Oh, it's an anagram. Oh, that's very clever. Oh, that's really weird. Okay. I couldn't even see that when I'd had the thought of it. It just didn't occur to me, because the king is such a normal phrase. Normally, we may indeed see an example of this later, although this is being a John Guiver puzzle, maybe we don't. But normally, especially if you're practiced at cryptic crosswords, you can look at a clue and you know there's an anagram involved, because the constructor has used, for example, actually, I'm looking down, 7 down there, pretending to mix vinaigrette in buffet. I'd be quite surprised if vinaigrette wasn't anagrammed in that puzzle, because it's such a weird collection of letters. It's screaming anagram. But the king doesn't scream anagram. But the king, I said D could be the parts. The king D, after broadcast, if you broadcast something, you sort of disseminate it, you sow it, you spread it around, you anagram it. And that gives us, and then we create the is here is doing the duty of an equal sign. Sometimes I like to think of these cryptic clues as mathematical equations. So here you've got sort of some stuff in brackets, gets anagrammed to equal a word that means dubbed, knighted. Okay, let's go back to one across. Jack is a card, jackknife. To double up. I mean, it must be jackknife, I think. A card is a jack. A cutter is a knife. If a lorry jackknifes, it sort of switches round. Does that mean to double up? I think it must do. I think it's. Actually, I won't look this up, just in case I've missed a trick here. But I bet this is jackknife. It fits the wordplay so well. Let's go back to one down. Music ringing. So long on the phone before one's bath. No, I won't. Music ringing. I mean, there can't be many words that fit here. Jackpot, I keep thinking of. I don't know. Let's go to 4 down. Turning 50. Detective retired on being unwilling to work. Turning 50. If you see 50 in a cryptic crossword clue, it is very good to be familiar with all of the Roman numerals for numbers. And 50 is L, 100 is C, 500 is D, 1,000 is M, V is 5. You need to know these. So turning 50, detective. A detective is a detective inspector, DI. So turning 50 L, DI, would give us IDL. On being unwilling to work. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant because even that clue where I had IDL blank blank, so it's idled or idler, isn't it? But even then, you have to just pause, and then you realise that there is a little bit more cleverness than you expected in the clue, because what you've got here, you have got LDI being reversed for the first bit, but then you've got this phrase retired on. Now, if something is on it, a subject of something, it is re-it, R-E. And if you retire the word re, you get ER. So that's giving us the idler. But for that to be true, the definition here has to be being unwilling to work. And at first glance, that feels like it's the wrong part of speech, or it doesn't define it. But it means a being, as in a human being. A human being who's unwilling to work is an idler. So being unwilling to work, being there, is being used as in human being. A noun. It's lovely. It's just lovely, isn't it? It's very clever. Now, let's try and do 5 down. Cut out boxing. Casualty stateside. Is that ER? A casualty in America? With right training equipment. Cut out. Exorcism or training equipment. Exerciser or something like that. I sort of... Let me just put that in, because that's got certain features I like. If you cut out something, you excise it. EXCISE. That boxes, so surrounds, casualty stateside. I think that's saying an ER is an emergency room. It's the same as a casualty in an NHS hospital, but in America we call it, or one calls it, an ER. So that ER looks like it's casualty stateside with right at the end. So yeah, this is right. Exerciser must be a word for like gym equipment or something. Training equipment, exerciser. I mean, it's a word I can well believe exists. It's not a word I ever use. I'm not going to change it. So let's have a look. Exercise, someone or something, a device, there we go, with elasticated cords to help exercising the muscles. There we are. So that's why that's correct. Now look, if we just stare at the grid for a moment, we can immediately see weird letters. W's, K's, X's. So, pangram alert. I'm looking on the lookout for Q and Z. Let's try 11 across. Nothing in Brazil changes. Okay, I've done that. I can do one quickly for once. There's normally one of these in every Times crossword. And when I first started to do crosswords, I would have been about 11 or 12, I think. These were the ones I would look out for because they're the only ones I could understand. And they're hidden. The answer here that we're going to write in is hidden, spelt out in the clue. Now, when you get a hidden, the constructor has to tell you that the answer is hidden. You can't just hide it in the clue and expect you to find it without telling you it's there. So, here we're looking for a word that means nothing, and we look to get that word that means nothing. We look inside the letters Brazil changes. And if you look inside, you can see spelt out Z-I-L-C-H, zilch. And zilch is sort of a colloquial, oh, jacuzzi then. Oh, bath. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Sorry. Double pangram alert, double Z. Jacuzzi. Right, why? Jazz for me. Music. Is it jazz? Oh, so long on the phone. Oh, right. This is lovely. Okay, I've been wondering. Yeah, there was a bit of discussion about this when we were in Oxford. Mark and I did this live edition of this masterclass. And phone abbreviations was something that came up. And so long on the phone, if you were texting goodbye, you would just put CU, or you might just put CU. So that's what's happened here. You've got music, jazz, ringing, CU, which is a way of writing so long, bye-bye, in text speak. Before one, that's this one, the apostrophe S is doing the duty of equals. Equals the name of a bath, jacuzzi. So let's read the clue again. Music ringing so long on the phone. Music ringing so long on the phone before one's bath. Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It works very well, doesn't it? Let's look at 14 across. Swells, increases, are contracted to wear fashionable suits. It must be increases. Yeah, I think it is increases. I can see an explanation for why. So a swell is an increase. So swells, I think, increases. Are contracted. I think what John is saying there is a contraction of the word are is apostrophe re. If we look in the dictionary, there we go. Short form of R. So we've got a contraction here. R contracted is this RE. To wear, so that RE wears, it's surrounded by. Fashionable, if something's fashionable, is in. And suits are cases, as in lawsuits. So increases is going to be correct. Let's try this one. Lachrymose is one. No, I'm sure I'm just trying to guess at a word that might fit. 12 down. Regularly screened. Live reality, reels bringing in capital with profit. I mean, and I know, I apologise for this, but it's how I'm reading this in the most obtuse way. You know, I'm sure John is watching this video, if he does watch it, and will be cringing at the way I'm not reading it as a sentence. So regularly screened live reality reels, bringing in capital with profit. I mean, you know, it trips off the tongue, it sounds like a sentence, but when I'm trying to parse it, I'm reading it in this stochastic way. Stochastic is like a statistical term, isn't it? I'm trying to mean it in the sense of staccato. Maybe that's wrong, but apologies. Anyway, regularly screened live reality, or regularly screened live reality reels, bringing in capital with profit. I haven't got a clue what that is. We have got some other starting letters though. Let's try 10 across. Adequate, to shed a couple of layers, to run. It's a constant 0 degrees. Equator is at 0 degrees. That's got a Q in it. Yes, okay. Look at the word adequate. Now, imagine it's a word that's got skin. What if we said remove the skin of the word adequate? What could we be saying? We'd be saying remove its first and last letter, because they're the sort of skin of the core of the fruit of the word, if you see what I mean. So if we remove 2 layers from the word adequate, we'd remove its first 2 letters and its last 2 letters. Now I can see that leaves me with equat. Now, to run. Oh no, it doesn't leave it. It doesn't. It's not a quat. It's a qua. I was wondering how I was going to create or, but I don't need to. I want to. We get a qua from shedding the 2 layers of adequate, and then you can see the word to in the clue. I'm going to write it in the answer. Run from cricket scoring can be abbreviated to R. That gives equator. It's a constant 0 degrees. We're definitely on Pangram alert. Let's try 13 across. Ravel again, or revel again, occupied by concerto's opening figure. So we're clearly trying to get at the composer of the bolero, but we're going to try, I think, and take the different meaning of the word ravel, as in the opposite of to unravel. Ravel again, occupied by concerto's opening figure. That's lovely. If you retangle something, you would ravel it again, wouldn't you? So to retangle is occupied by, so it has within it concerto's opening. That is not referring to the opening of a piece of music. It's referring to the opening letter of the word concerto, that's C. And that gives a rectangle, which is a geometric figure. Very nice. Now let's try 6 down. Sell out, second match with English going 2 down. Sell out, squeal, I want that. So that would give me another Q. This could be a double pangram. I've got 2 Ks, 2 Zs. If this is squeal, I've got 2 Qs. I mean, these are, if John's achieved this is a very, very rare thing. Although, I want to say, and I'm going to get this wrong because it's so ludicrous, but there was a puzzle that we showcased on the channel years ago. I want to say it had 5 of each letter in it, in a normal grid. I want to say it was by Monk. but that could be complete and utter gibberish. Anyway, I'm digressing again. Let's look at squeal here. To squeal as in to sell out, to rat on somebody is what I'm thinking. So second, yeah, okay. If you match something, you equal it, don't you? And the E of the word equal can be abbreviated by the word is an abbreviation of the word English. If we go to E, it won't surprise anyone to know that E can be English, I think. There. So the E in the word equal goes down 2 letters. So it's not referring to England going 2 behind in a match. It's referring to the letter E going 2 down. I'm so sorry about this. I do not understand why there is so much aeroplane noise, but hopefully it's louder for me than it is for you guys. Actually, I've looked at that one. I didn't understand it. I'm going to try this one. Tending to mix vinaigrette in buffet or buffet. Now, vinaigrette is 11 letters. Tending to mix, sociable or something, or... I'm trying to think. Tending. I'm trying to work out what I think the definition is. Because if we are thinking about an anagram of vinaigrette, there's a lot of superfluous words in the clue. Because to mix vinaigrette is saying anagram vinaigrette. So does that mean we're trying to create a word that means tending? Or are we trying to create a word which means in buffet or buffet? But why would you have the word tending if it means buffet in the clue? I don't understand that one. Let's try 8 down. Aid for delivery. Rider under duress. Oh, yes, lovely. Okay. Well, lovely unless you have to have this done to you. But I have got it. In fact, lovely is the most dreadful adjective I've used to describe this. Okay, aid for delivery is the definition here. I should have done this more today. I do this in a lot of the videos, but I encourage you, when we read the clues, to try and guess or to try and fix in your own mind what you think the definition is. It's really good practice, because if you can distill all these clues into their definitions, it becomes a quick crossword, a difficult quick crossword, but it becomes a quick crossword, and it shows that you're learning the language of these clues. So here, unfortunately, I've said it now, but we're looking for a word which means aid for delivery, and that might suggest, well, you have to think about what could that mean. A rider is like, think of it, a rider as in a codicil to a will, an addendum. Now, an addendum to a letter, if you'd finished writing the letter and you wanted to just add an afterthought, you might add a PS. And PS, it says rider under, so we've got to put PS underneath a 5-letter word which means duress, and duress is force, and that gives forceps, which are an aid to delivery, as in an aid to birthing. So yes, not a lovely aid, but a thing. Now what's this then? Slide down off leaking old... Oh, an old boat is a skiff. SKIFF. Why would it be skiff? Slide. My brain is now going to helter-skelter as a slide, and that's not helping me. Oh, off... Okay. Oh, no, that's beautiful. Oh, my goodness, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay. I said an old boat was a skiff. I think actually a boat is just a skiff. I think skiff is probably still a term for a boat. Now, let's read the clue again. If you slide down a mountain, how might you do that? You might ski. And then off, leaking old, is saying, look at the word off. And leak, get rid of, it's O. And O is a valid abbreviation for old. So off leaking old is double F. Ski is to slide down, giving skiff. Let's now look it up because it's definitely right. A small light boat. There's no qualifier there. It's not saying, in olden times. Skiff is also, look, a Scottish word meaning a slight touch, sketch or puff. Didn't know that. So what's this then? Tending to mix. Interrogative or something. It must be integrative. If you integrate, you mix. That would explain why tending was in the clue. Tending to mix. Let me just... Integrative. Is that a word? And has it got the right anagram for it? I've got 2 E's. Yeah, there's 2 E's in vinaigrette. 2 T's. There are 2 T's in vinaigrette. Integrative. I quite like that. And then buffet is what... So it's not saying buffet. It makes you want... the surface reading of the clue makes that B-U-F-F-E-T word look like it must be buffet. But of course buffet is spelt the same and has a very different meaning. If you buffet the letters of vinaigrette, you might anagram them. So I think integrative is what I would go for there. Shall we look it up? Well, I think we'd better. I'm not going to change it. So integrate. It is there. There we go. Integrative. Tending to integrate. Tending to mix. Right, now can we get 16 across? Hamburgers, rather depleted buns in boxes. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's going on, but I think that the image it conjures up is brilliant. Hamburgers, rather depleted buns in boxes. Baps. Oh, I don't know. I think hamburger bun is a bap. That's how we used to refer to it in the north. Hamburgers, rather depleted buns in boxes. Hamburgers. I mean, there is the famous JFK speech, sort of Ich bin ein Berliner. So hamburger, I'm wondering could it refer to somebody from Hamburg? So a German word for rather. Depleted. Buns in boxes. I haven't got a clue. I think this is probably a brilliancy, and unfortunately I haven't got a foggiest. I don't know what it means. I don't know how to read the clue. Buns in boxes. See, boxes is such a... We've already seen boxes being used for... to surround something. If you put something in a box, you encase it. Hamburgers, rather depleted. Buns in boxes. Hamburgers. I'm trying to think if there are words I know for like a hamburger is in the fast food. A McDonald's. A Big Mac. Max. Hamburgers. Max. Buns in boxes. I don't know. Hamburgers. This is really, that's very terrifying, because I'm not going to get any more help, am I? There's no more checking letters to be had, and I don't understand it. Oh, I'm going to have to, I wish I hadn't looked at that one, because that's now going to sort of play in the back of my mind as a problem for the whole video. But anyway, 15 down. Crack user with speed. I'm immediately thinking, okay, I'm just going to tell you, I'm immediately thinking, is this an anagram of user speed? Because if I crack the letters of user with speed, I get 9 letters, and that is how many I need for this answer. And then that would mean set aside. Okay, well, I'm not seeing that. I thought it might be suspend or something, but I don't think it is. Supersede is what it is. Supersede, a word I'm very prone, or used to be very prone, to spelling wrong because of my lack of Latin. So I always used to spell it with a C there. But supersede, I think, is how you spell it. And if you set aside something, it would be superseded. So I think that is an anagram. And that's good. Let's try 19 across. One spiked long drinks in gold vessel. Okay, again, try and make up your mind what you think the definition is here. And if you know, well done, because I don't. One spiked long drinks in gold vessel. This is making me think of that. Why is this making me think of Return of the Jedi? I don't know. You know, the scene where they're going out to be fed to the Sarlacc or something, in whose belly you will digest over 1,000 years. One spiked long drinks in gold vessel. I don't know. Sorry, my brain is not cooperating. Let's try 18 across. Influence. Introduction of welfare state checks. Okay, lovely. I mean, it's just perfect. You could not write this clue better for this word. Influence introduction of welfare state checks. I suppose it probably works very slightly better for an American audience, this, because checks here is being used as in the surface reading is being used as in a sort of a promise to pay, a check, which for a British audience would be spelled CHEQUE. But have you made up your mind what you think the definition is? If you think the answer, the definition is influence, well done, that is correct. We're looking for a 4-letter word that means influence. How do we construct it? Introduction of welfare. What does that mean in a cryptic sense? It's saying take the introduction of the word welfare, the W. And then state checks is saying think of a 3-letter word for state, and check as in inhibit, surround and strangle the W. If you state something, you say it. So if we put W in say, we get sway, and if you sway someone's opinion, you influence them. So not too difficult, but beautifully worded. Let's try 18 down. Field reserve, clubs wearing black. Field reserve. I don't know what this is. My thoughts are clubs wearing black. Clubs can be abbreviated to C from sort of bridge scoring, the game of bridge scoring, obviously. Black, can I think of any synonyms for black, especially beginning with S? I'm thinking sable. Isn't sable a type of black? But I don't know any short abbreviations for reserve. Wearing black. Field reserve. It's like a substitute or something. I don't know. No, I don't know that one. This one's got 2 hyphens in it. Antiques, bric-a-brac? It must be bric-a-brac, isn't it? I'm never sure whether bric-a-brac really means antique or whether it's just sort of odds and sods you have left around the home. But bric-a-brac feels right there, doesn't it? British Isles to return. A couple shortly. Bric-a-brick I've written. I was trying to work out how a couple could. I wanted it to be a brace. A couple is in a brace. Brace is a word which means a couple. So British. Right. Okay, I have understood this now. So the way that the wordplay works here, British is BR. Isles, I think that's saying the Channel Islands, CI. And it's a CI returns. That gives us the IC here. And a couple, A is just the A plane. A couple is brace. Shortly, so we shorten the word brace, we get bric-a-brac. Let's look up bric-a-brac. I didn't realise it necessarily meant antiques. Old, it's there, isn't it? Old curiosities, knickknacks, or other treasured odds and ends. Yeah, because I often think of bric-a-brac as being like rubbish, but it's clearly not, is it? It's actually, well, unless knickknacks means rubbish. Well, small trifling ornamental or would-be ornamental articles. Okay, but we get 2 Bs. So again, our thoughts of a double pangram are not stupid. Subside field, sub. A reserve is a sub. Subject. Lovely. Okay, so I was misled here. I think black is a word that means sable, isn't it? Am I going mad? Lustrous dark brown. Maybe I'm wrong. No, black. There we go. From heraldry. Okay, so I wasn't going completely mad, but that was not the synonym we were looking at. That were not the droids we were looking for. Yeah, the synonym we were looking for black was jet, as in jet black. So what we had to do, a reserve is a sub, as in somebody you'd substitute on in a game of football. Clubs, C. Wearing jet, that gives ject at the end, so subject, and your field is certainly your subject, isn't it? So it makes sense once we read it properly. Let's try 2025. Give a lift to, elevate. Visiting French student nurses. Visiting French student nurses. Oh, French student. There is something like it. There is is it 11 or something? Student nurses. I'm just going to write elevate in. I just want to look at it and think about it for a second. Yeah. Okay. I think this is right. Although my French is letting me down a bit. If I'm right that a French student is élève, E-L-E-V-E, then I can justify it. Because the way I'm going to justify it is I'm going to say if you're visiting something, if you're visiting a museum, you're at the museum, aren't you? So at here, at, is a synonym for visiting. So at, which a French student nurses. Now, if somebody nurses someone, they cosset it, they cuddle it, don't they? So élève is looking after at, and that gives elevate, which means give a lift to. So I think that's right. It's just that my French is a bit out of date, and that's why I'm not absolutely certain. But I'm confident enough I will leave it in. Now let's try 28 across. Your old dear is like herb time. You're old. Hang on. There can't be a word timey, can there? That cannot be a word, as in, like, having the flavour of the herb thyme. The reason I'm asking that, I'm trying to understand the clue. I'm trying to cut the clue in the correct place. Now, there are many possible cuts here. And the first thought I had was, I'm going to cut it after the word like. So, I'm looking for the name of a herb, and I know thyme is a herb. So that all looks good. You're old. Well, an old form of your would be thy. Thy will be done. But then I need dear is like to give me. And that doesn't work. So then I thought, okay, but if I cut it in a different place, like herb, or is during the duty of an equal sign, then my would have to be dear. My goodness, dear me. Oh dear. I quite like that thought. Dear is in sort of an oh dear, my goodness. Are they synonymous? Let's look at 21 down. I'm not sure about this why. Jolly permissive parts for a ray of star galaxy. Gay, if you're gay, you're jolly. Which permissive, if you're lax, you're permissive. And that part's the word jolly. It's brilliant. So that gives galaxy. That's right. So timey, I think, is going to be correct here. And goodness knows what this is. Let's try and do it without looking at the clue again. So how does it end? Oh, come on, Simon. No, it's going to lucratively would fit. Now, does that work? With profit, lucratively. So lucratively is right. I just have to work out why. Regularly screened. Live reality. Reality is an anagram in there. Oh, I see. Right. So if we regularly screen the word live, we would take regularly occurring letters from it. We would hide those letters. So if I hide the I and the E, then I have LV, reality. So how many letters am I up to now? 9. Bringing in capital. Oh, uppercase is that? Oh, that's very clever. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so a capital letter is an uppercase letter. UC is a valid abbreviation for uppercase. Let's look at that. Oh, no. There we go. It even says i.e. capital. So, UC here is brought into an anagram of LV reality, and with profit lucratively. Okay, so that's great, and you can see this panoply of nonsense letters here. We have had 2 X's, we've had 2 Q's, we've had 2 K's, we've had 2 Z's. Have we only had 1 J? No, we've had 2. Subject. Bobbins. I was hoping I might be able to use the fact that this needed a J to narrow that down. Okay, 23 down. Munch hot party sandwiches. Again, the surface is brilliant. I don't know actually. I've thought of a possible answer to this. Again, make up your own mind. Which word in this clue do you think is the definition? If you think it's munch, I think you're right. And the word I've thought of is chomp. And the reason I quite like chomp is that hot, we talked about this earlier, can be abbreviated to H from taps. So if I put H, party sandwiches. So if comp was a word for a party, then that would be sandwiching. It would be, the H would be providing the filling for the sandwich of comp. But comp and party is not tripping off my memory. Munch. What else could it be? It probably does begin CH. If I munch something, I chow it down. I chew it. I can only think of chomp now, of course. Let's see if we can get. Is the P right here? Former president. XP. P can be an abbreviation to president. Scheming with specific intent. Scheming with specific intent. I've got specific intent. I am I don't know. Not sure. Okay, we might have to get some more letters down here. I think let's try 17. 14 points for PK and reportedly Jaguar with 8. So I think this is a Formula 1 reference. Nelson Piquet was a famous Formula 1 driver. 14 points for PK. What's the French for 14? Oh my goodness. 10, 11, 12, 13. That could be right, couldn't it? 14. Now, how do you spell it? Is it Z? Is it Z there? I mean, the reason I quite like this is reportedly Jaguar with 8 ? I think what that's saying, Jaguar is a type of cat, C-A-T, and a rowing 8, you might refer to those colloquially as your oars, O-A-R-S. So cat oars. So the reportedly here is telling you you're looking for a homophone. Now the thing is, I've got. It can't be triple pangram, can it? I don't think it could be, but it is interesting. I have now had 3 Zs, which is an incredibly unlikely thing to achieve. But I've still got so many. I'd have to get. Oh no, I've got another Q. I've got 3 Qs. Right, so if that's right, then I might be looking for another J. Right, let's have a look at this one. 24. Charlie's parking by Barbican, perhaps, after pulling over. A Charlie is a twerp. Why? Parking is P. By Barbican, perhaps. Oh, it's tower. Oh my goodness. I thought it was a reversal, but it's not. It's just brilliant. the clues are brilliant. I mean, actually, the clues are brilliant. Just, if we read this clue again as a sentence, Charlie's parking by Barbican, perhaps after pulling over. It's perfect. You know, some chap called Charlie's parking his car by the Barbican after pulling it over. But if we read it as a cryptic clue now, Charlie is synonymous for twerp, as in a prize Charlie, you might say. Parking P by Barbican. Barbican is a tower. It's a type of tower. And after pulling the O of the word tower, so remove the O, because O is a valid abbreviation for over from cricket scorecards, we create twerp. Perfect. So 20 down. Fellow, feeling, empathy. Now, that's outrageous. If that's right, that's outrageous. And that is an example of reading these clues in a helpful way. Because I guess nobody who was new to cryptic crosswords would go fellow feeling empathy. They would go fellow feeling extremely happy after lunch drinks served up past noon, but I bet you it's empathy. Let's see. So, fellow feeling extremely happy is the extreme letters of the word happy. That's HY. After lunch PM, surely. Drinks served up. After lunch. Drinks. Oh, I see. It's so clever. Right. So if you lunch, you eat. So we put the H and the Y after a word for lunch, eat, drinks. So the eat, drinks, as in it takes inside it, served up, reversed, an abbreviation for past noon, which is PM. So that's why you've got MP inside eat plus HY for empathy. Now, let's try this one. One spiked. Long. If you long for something, you pine for it. So could this be pine drinking something? Porcupine. A porcupine is spiked. Gold vessel or cup. Ah, so good. One spiked long drinks in gold vessel. Ah, it's beautiful. So the definition here is one spiked, as in an animal that is spiked, a porcupine. Long, if you pine for something, you long for it. That drinks takes inside it gold, OR. This we've seen this a few times over the years in these masterclasses. Or is the heraldic tincture for gold. So it's yellow and gold it's often used for. Let's have a look. The tincture gold or yellow indicated in engraving and chiselling by dots from heraldry. I know it's mad, but it comes up a lot. So, and a vessel is a cup. So porcupine is correct. And let's try 26. Pop round to get cheese. Forgetting thank you for fruit. Apricot would fit. Ricotta is cheese. Yeah, okay. Apricot. It must be right. Okay. Pop round to get cheese. Forgetting thank you for fruit. Yeah, okay. So, pop round. Your pop, especially in America, is your father. So if you, and a short synonym for father might be your pa, as in your ma and pa. So pop round is reversing the word pa to give AP. And that gets a word for cheese, ricotta, forgetting its thank you. So without tar is a sort of colloquial form of thank you, isn't it? So that just gets us ricotte. Put those together, apricot. So the 4 here is doing the duty of an equal sign, equals fruit. Now let's try that one. Chief of Staff leaves function. Okay, a very unusual clue in that it has 2 definitions and one bit of wordplay in it. So chief of staff can be abbreviated to COS. Leaves, that's referring to lettuce leaves, and cos is a type of lettuce. But cos is also mathematically a function, as in cosine. So function here is also defining cos. So that is a very clever clue. Chief of staff leaves function. It's beautiful again, isn't it? All of these. Oh, I thought chomp. Champ. Oh, camp. Okay, I mean, champ. I suppose horses champ, don't they? So munch, champ, and then a camp for a party. That does feel better. So expressly would fit here. With specific intent. It must be expressly. Oh, although... Former president. Scheming. Oh, sly. I see. Right. Very clever again. I thought P was going to be... I think P can be president. Maybe I'm wrong about that. PR can definitely be president, I think. Oh, maybe it can't. Okay, I could be just wrong. Can P be president? It wouldn't surprise me if it could. I mean, it would surprise me if it couldn't, to be honest. Oh, it's not there. Okay, so I'm just talking nonsense. Okay, but an abbreviation that does exist for president is clearly PRES. Then there it is. Because the way this clue works, the former of something is X. X-PRES. And then a word for scheming. If you're scheming, you're sly, aren't you? Express. Sly. Expressly. And we've only got this left. Now, let me just... I am going to try and use the pangrammatic nature just to think. I've got tons of X's in this puzzle. I've got 3 F's. I can see 3 F's in the top row. Is it tripangrammatic? It could be. I've got 3. I can see 3 X's. I can see 3 Z's. I can see... I can't see 3 J's. I can only see 2 J's, I think. I can see 3 Q's. A W. How many W's have we got? 2. So if that was Jaws, that would give us... That would be good. What was the clue? Hamburgers, rather depleted. Buns in boxes. Jams. I shouldn't. I mean, this is nonsense to try and do this way. I apologise on behalf of myself and my own brain. My brain is letting everybody down, as so often. But, okay, there's an absolute ton of P's in this grid. I think do I really believe that this is a tripangrammatic? Oh no, I found another W, so Jaws is wrong. Unless it's quadruple pangrammatic. I don't think it can be. There are definitely only 3 Q's in this grid, aren't there? There are. And I can't put another Q in here. Right, so tripangram would require, I think, this answer to contain a J. This would be so bad if I've missed a J somewhere. Now, where's the J? Harges would be a word, but or Rages, I suppose. But the J is most likely there, isn't it? So hamburgers, rather depleted. Buns in boxes. What? Hamburgers. Rather depleted. Buns in boxes. Sorry. I'm now looking around the grid thinking, could I possibly get this other consonant using this method? Oh, it's such nonsense. How many G's are there in the grid? There aren't a great many. Cowgirl has got a G. Oh no, there are 3. I found 3. Cowgirl, rectangle, galaxy. There's probably loads of H's, aren't there? H is not a very uncut. I can see 2 very quick. Oh, I've found 3 of those as well. Oh dear. Okay. Hamburgers rather depleted, buns in boxes. Oh, I've nearly got it. Jabs is the answer. I have got it. I mean, it's vicious. I would never have got this if I hadn't thought about the pangram. Right, the way this works. I was right in terms of hamburgers rather. He's talking about German, but I thought I needed the German word for rather, and I was like, I don't know that. So I stopped thinking about it. But if a hamburger was just to say rather, as in yes, go, yes, that's ja, isn't it? Ja and 9. So ja, J-A, is the German word for yes, rather. Now, depleted buns then could be saying, okay, look at the word buns and deplete it, remove its core. So we're going to remove the U and the N. That gives jabs. And jabs, boxes. Now, is that B the third B? Bric-a-brac has got 2 B's. Is it the third B? So could I have got this by just carefully counting the consonants? I think I could. Bobbins. Okay, I didn't spot that. But I think, remarkably, this is a tripangrammatic puzzle. Every letter, I can't prove it because it would take too long, but every letter I think is appearing 3 times in this puzzle. Actually, is M appearing 3 times? It's 1, 2. Oh. Oh no, 3. Yeah, no, it is. Empathy as well. Yeah, so I think all the letters are appearing 3 times. That's an incredible construction, especially when you consider how many words have we entered into this puzzle that are just weird and wonderful. I would argue probably only cators. Is cators in the English dictionary? Yeah, and actually, in the game PK, I really thought it was Nelson PK. That's very clever. It's got even cleverer. Oh my goodness. 14 points for PK is referring for 14 points in the game PK, not Nelson PK. Oh goodness. That's genius, isn't it? It's just, the whole thing is genius. I submitted that a bit willy-nilly. I hope I haven't made a mistake. No, I haven't. Okay. Fantastic, John. Fantastic. I mean, what a way to strut your stuff, frankly. Just crazy good. Crazy good. In a crazy grid. Now, after taking so long to sort of work my way through that, I do try and redeem myself sometimes by having hopefully a quick go at the quick cryptic. Let's see if we can do that. So, strangely berry, precious ruby. Bishop gave instructions with an edge blade. I don't know. Come back, reappear, repair, I think. So, now I'm not typing properly. Unable to see, blind, bleeny. Oh. It's bleeny. That was get wrongable. Do you think of me as fit? Am I able? Soldier private. Eyes. Fool holds fixed investment. Is it assets? Fixed, yes it is. Peach skins served up for rest. Peach. Beauty. Beauty. Sleep. Gosh, that's a clever clue. Appearing embarrassed by colour of home's scarlet. Study in scarlet, is that what? It's not representative of appropriate skill. I don't know. Bear young carve. Yeah. Unpleasant film scum, surely. Yeah. Figure of metaphor. I'm not even going to look at it. I hope it's right. After golf, go off to Santa's place. Rot 2. American singular in ripped silk. Tore silk. I don't know. Sorry, I should be able to get that. I don't know. A base is in operation. Wah! I've got stuck now. Stay. This is support. Buttering up flattery. Latte in fry. Once trying ordeal. Have I looked at this one? No. Perpetrating these, you wouldn't get clean away. Dirty tricks or something? Maybe? I'm not sure about that. Abstract art would fit. I think that's probably right. I'm not sure, but I think it... Okay, so what's this? American. Singular in ripped. Silk. Don't know. A base is in operation. Oh no, 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 come on. Sorry, smart reply, riposte, I think. Pushback, repel, yeah. I was first up in food store, deli. I led, reversed. What's this one then? Bishop gave instructions, ordered, bordered. And then this one, outside, obeyed. Okay, so it's this nonsense down here. American, US, tussor, that is a word, I think. Silk, perhaps. A base, a foot. Oh, that's good. Okay, I don't think that was actually as bad as I nearly made it look. 19th, it is as bad. Terrible. Sorry, okay. Yeah, the usual suspects are around 2 minutes and I was 3:45. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I'm so sorry. Goodness me. Actually, I don't know. I didn't feel I was that slow on that one. That's very distressing. I'm utterly distressed by that. How could I have been quicker? Let's just think about that. Which ones was I slower than I should have been? I mean, tussor, I don't really know. Let's look at that word. So that certainly held me up. I mean, it's not even there under a fawn-coloured silk from wild Indian silkworms. Okay, all right. I sort of forgive myself for not immediately writing that in. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a bleenie was quite clever as well because it looked like it was going to be blind, and I didn't fall for that. Yeah, but there we go. That just shows you how fast you have to be in any way competitive, faster than me. I'm certainly a better typist. Anyway, I very much enjoyed solving the puzzles today. I hope you enjoyed watching me do that. Let us know in the comments how you got on, how your cryptic solving is going, and a plea. These videos get absolutely caned by the algorithm. we don't know why. And we do appreciate the comments. We get lots of kind comments from people every week who say this is their favourite video that we do each week. And that's why we're keeping doing these videos, is because the algorithm hates them, but we like doing them, and we know that some of you really like watching them. So anything you can do to help us with the algorithm would be most generous, especially subscribing. That makes a big difference. It's free to subscribe to a YouTube channel, but if the algorithm learns that these videos get a lot of new subscribers, it's more likely to actually promote them, and that would help to spread the word about these wonderful puzzles. And nobody, I think, with any love of language at all, could not appreciate what John Guiver's done in here today. Triple pangram with absolutely world-class clues. Loved it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.